This is Sexy Funny Raw, where we talk all about the world of sex, from dating and relationships to the adult industry itself, answering all the questions you weren't even brave enough to ask Google. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sexy Funny Raw. I am your host, Sylvia Sage, and joined with me, not in studio, but remote from her very own home here in Los Angeles, California, is fellow adult film actress Ryan Keely. Ryan, say hello to the people.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Yeah.
It's such a fun episode that I have for you guys today because this episode is, so you think you want to date a porn star? Let's tell you exactly.
Please do.
What you need to know about dating a porn star. So, Ryan, without further ado, I think the burning question everyone wants to know, are you single?
Yeah. I am.
Very, very single. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you looking? Are you looking to date?
I've been in a situationship for the last couple years.
Oh, okay.
It's actually been really, really great because I've been so busy. You know, I really took over management of my OnlyFans. I've really kind of built up my own production for doing, really being present on social media and really doing all these projects. And then I've had like family stuff going on as well. So there is no way I could have been in an exclusive,
Right.
There's absolutely no way that I could have been in an exclusive relationship. So I was in a relationship where I wasn't the primary partner, which was great.
Okay.
But at this point, I am ready to be picked first. I'm ready to be put first. And I actually have the space and the availability to do that for someone, which wasn't the case until recently. So things have settled down.
I feel like I don't have the time. So you must be in a better place than I am right now, because I feel like I'm pulling my hair out with as many places as I have to be somewhere, you know? So.
Yeah, you've been. I know you've been making some changes yourself.
Yeah, too many
I made those changes. Earlier in the year, and it's hard. It's you know when I got in this business. I just showed up to set, and all I did was show up to set, and then I would get paid, and I would go home, and I could like hang out in bed and read my books, and like occasionally tweet something, and like that was it.
Yeah,
you know, maybe once or twice a month I would do media. Maybe I would do an interview, and now I run a production studio. It is, and I'm not just running a production studio and producing, I'm also the talent as well.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. I feel like we have taken on a lot more with like what's going on in our work lives right now. You're right. In the beginning, it was just showing up to set, and it's so far removed from that now. But we're in a better position too, I think. So
yeah, it's good. And actually, I'm glad that the industry has evolved as it has, because now that I'm, older, I think that I would be very, very bored waiting for my phone to call, my phone to ring, being like, oh, you want to shoot this on this date? I don't think I would have the same longevity that I've had, because now I'm engaged, and it's interesting. It's complex problem solving.
Yeah. Okay. So what has been your longest relationship? And that can be before porn, during porn, where are you at relationship wise? Are you a long-term girl?
I mean, I've had some long-term lovers. I've definitely have my longest relationships have definitely been I'd say the thing that I'm getting out of right now is actually about 5 years.
Wow.
But it didn't really get super super serious until 3 years ago.
Okay.
And now that's done. But yeah, I think 2, 3, 4 years, I'm very off camera. I am so monogamous. It's ridiculous. This is the only time that I've ever been able to be in a relationship, and it only worked because I was busy with work and I didn't have the time to do the emotional labor that is normally required to be in a relationship with, and be a porn star at the same time. But I am so monogamous off camera. Once I pick someone, that's it. I go to work and I love my job, and that's a really amazing outlet for me, and that definitely gets all my yayas out. But I'm emotionally monogamous, and off camera, I'm physically monogamous. And so,
that was probably going to be my next question of like, what does monogamy look like to you? Because as porn actresses, I feel like I'm the same way. I feel like I'm monogamous when I'm in a relationship, but for work, I'm still having sex with other people. So what does that look like to you?
that's exactly what it looks like. And it's, that's always challenging because I exclusively date civilians now. I have dated in the industry. It did not work out for me. I mean, I'm already such a workaholic that I can't date someone in the industry that's bringing so much work home.
So even if they are, because they're not industry, so they're not doing this for work, would you allow them to have other partners outside of you, or would you like have a threesome situation with them? Or
I only do threesomes at work. I do only do threesomes at work. I am such a giving and hospitable person that threesomes, you want me in a threesome. I am like the anchor of a threesome. Like I am the Martha Stewart of a threesome. I'm the hostess with the mostess. I will make sure that everyone is getting served. There is dinner on the table and everyone's going to eat. And in the past, when I have been in relationships, I have explicitly been like, I am comfortable with you seeing sex workers.
Okay.
I'm completely comfortable with that because there is a level of, like, yes, I do physically get to be there with other people. Yeah. But for me, it's emotional cheating is the one that I have a big issue with. I have no problem if someone wants to see a sex worker in another capacity, whether that's
with
full
you
service,
or
whether
without
that's a massage with a happy ending, that's, whatever that is to them, totally comfortable with that.
With or without you there, though? Would you have to be there?
Without me, I do not want to be there.
Oh, okay.
I have zero interest in being there. Yeah. I spend enough time facilitating sexual situations that I no.
Yeah.
If you want me to produce a sexual situation for me, you got to pay me my producing rate.
Yeah. See, you're even more generous than I would be, because I would say, like, I wouldn't want them with anybody else sexually unless, I guess, they personally were a sex worker and they were going to be bringing an income back from sleeping with someone, because that's how I rationalize it in my brain. Is I'm like, this is work. This is how I make my money. It's not where I'm at mentally. And sometimes, like, it's not even like where I typically like want to be. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I have to make X amount of content a month. And so these are the people I'm shooting content with. But I feel like, to me, even with like a sex worker in a different situation, I would be like, well, I'm not satisfying you. I get so weirdly like jealous and like territorial that I like couldn't even let them do that, I don't think.
I don't want to necessarily allow that valve, but for me, that's like the exception that I can be okay with, because I am not going to be okay with them dating other people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be okay. I'm just not going to. I don't want you flirting with someone at work. But if you get jealous and weird and are like, well, you got to go fuck other people. I'm like,
yes.
Yeah. In a professional setting. So if you want to fuck someone else, it better be in a professional setting.
Yeah. That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. But I think that's really hard for a lot of people, especially men, to wrap their brains around, that you get to do this and I don't. I've had that a lot.
I don't get to do this.
Right.
I need to do this because this is my job. Yeah. And I have quit the adult industry and ended up coming back. So I, from personal experience, know that this is where... This is the best place for me to be. This is where I can be my happiest self. Yeah. And with me being my happiest self and bringing the person that I am to this relationship, I am going to have to shoot content with other people. And that's probably how you found out about me. That's probably how you know me. Like, the last person I was with 100% knew me as a porn star first before they knew me. Yeah. And actually every single one of my serious relationships, they met Ryan Keely first, like Ryan Keely, the porn star first, not, me, the producer that does all these other things.
Right.
And so it would be really hypocritical for them to be like, oh, well, I
Yeah.
didn't know. Or like, you're just this girl that does whatever. And it's like, no, you were, when we first started going out, you were
Yeah.
sending your friends like, oh my God, guess who I'm
It
hooking
was
up
like
with?
bragging rights in the beginning. Yeah.
And now they're trying to turn that around on me. Like, well, how could you fuck other people? I'm like, how can you change your outlook?
Yeah. Would you ever quit porn because of a relationship? Or have you in the past? Was that something you did?
I mean, I definitely cut back. I mean, early in my career, I kind of stuck to only doing girl because it made relationships. I thought it made relationships easier. Now going back and doing boy girl, it does not make it
Didn't make a difference.
did not make a difference at all. I mean, here's the thing. When people are like, oh, you quit porn, and I'm like, well, you set up a trust fund that will pay me for perpetuity for the amount of income that I'm going to lose over the rest of my lifetime, because I'm going to take a cut and pay, and then that like affects my retirement. That affects everything, because compounding interest is real, and it's energy levels are real. Like I can't shoot 4 scenes a week anymore.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
My body is just like, I can do 3 scenes a week, but like, I'm not, I used to, live in New Orleans and live in New York, and I'd come out to LA and I'd shoot for, 16, 18 days straight. And then I'd go, and then I'd go back to being a dancer. And
oh my God.
my 20s were great.
Yeah. All of our 20s were great when we had energy. Yeah.
And
so go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Okay.
Correctly.
So the question is, do you think because the energy level of like having to shoot, and like maybe like that day you have shot, but you want to see your boyfriend or whatever, do you think that that's affecting your sex life with him having a porn sex life?
Yes.
Yeah.
And in a very specific way.
Yeah.
Every time I go to work as a performer, even if it's not doing a scene, even if I'm doing something else like that's a creative project where I'm going and I'm being on all day and I'm being extroverted, talking to people, being on a set, that is really draining for me, because I'm like an introverted extrovert. Like I have an extroverted side of my personality, but I need to come home and I need to like recharge.
Yeah. Same.
I need my alone time.
Yeah.
And I will say that in relationships, when, people are getting a little bit jealous and I'm shooting, they want to come by and make sure that like I am still attracted to them. I've definitely like pushed myself to love on my partner in situations where, had they not needed that extra emotional labor, and actually in that case, physical labor, I would have, eaten my Taco Bell, taken a bath, and gone to sleep, which is my post-scene ritual.
Right, right. I even think for me, it's like the day before. Like I know personally, like I have to shoot tomorrow. So like today, I don't want anyone near my vagina because I want it to like rest up and be beautiful for tomorrow. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that I'm like,
the day before and the day like afterwards. It's 2 days. The day before, I'm like, I need to go get my nails done. I need to go to the red light therapy bed.
A spray tan.
Yep.
Yeah. All the things where you can't touch me. Don't even come close, because I have to be ready to.
And
be
you don't want to
beautiful.
snuggle with me because I'm marinating in spray tan.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, it's the amount of, because it's not just the work that we do on set, it's the beauty work that we do in order to be able to be camera ready. And that also gets harder as you get older.
Yes, it does. As I always look at myself and the wrinkles on my forehead, I'm like, God damn it. It is time again for Botox. I'm so over it.
So let me take you on let's take a quick side quest. Let's go on a very fast journey. I'm going to take you on a bus to Conspiracy Town.
Oh God.
Rumor has it that since Allergan got bought out by AbbVie, that they have been watering down the Botox, because I have noticed that since the corporate changeover happened, my Botox has not been lasting as long.
Is that okay? That makes me feel better. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm going to take it.
It's Conspiracy Town right now. It's population 1. Let me know if it's population 2.
It is. It is.
Because I'm like, Yeah, I actually just switched to a different brand of neurotoxin.
Your face looks great. As I'm staring at your face, I'm like, okay, what has she done? Because I got to get on that level right now. It looks fabulous.
Dr. Manis.
You look like a filter right now. You're killing it.
Between a Dr. Manis and Savage Fenty. Thank you.
Yeah. I love it.
But okay. Yeah, I switched brands because Botox isn't doing it anymore.
Yeah. It's not doing it for me either. Okay. So you were actually at one point married to another adult film actor, and you've dated within the industry.
Yes.
How does dating a performer differ from dating a civilian, and which do you prefer? Obviously, now you're dating civilians, but
so I dated civilians before, briefly had an interlude with dating and being briefly married to a performer, and then there's been after. And I do not like dating performers. I feel like it's stifling because I feel like I'm not getting any other. It's just all porn all the time, and we're talking about the same people. We know the same people. It's a little incestuous, and it for me, it's not as rewarding, like on an intellectual level. And I feel like I actually had like way less sex and way less intimacy with dating another performer because, male or female performers, the day before a scene, the day of a scene, they're probably not going to want to fool around. They're probably want to go to the gym. They're going to do whatever their ritual is to get ready. And if you're dating a male performer, that's, they might be saving their cum shot or they don't want to fuck or whatever. So you're getting less sex. And with a female performer, they're also doing all of that body work and all of that body, all of that they're doing. And then usually I feel like women performers spend a lot more time doing their social media and stuff. So they don't have the bandwidth to be a partner. And so if you have two people, of course, it's going to be... Yeah. I think it's for me, it doesn't work. I know that for some people, they found like a really great balance with it because they don't have to explain a lot of things.
There are definitely some couples that have lasted throughout time in porn being together, and I just applaud them. But I kind of feel the same way you do. I've never obviously been married to anyone in the industry, but I have tried dating. And I think for me, it was like meshing up schedules was super hard of when do both of us have a day where we're not shooting to even hang out with each other. And then for me, I'm a freak about testing. So I'm like, well, how many scene partners did you have this week? And when was the last time you got tested? And who were your scene partners? Like, how well do I trust those people? And what are they doing outside of porn? So it's just, there was so much concern all the time. That's why I like a partner who is not in porn, who's only sleeping with me, a lot less worry.
Stress does not make vaginas happy.
No, not at all. And and neither does a dick who's been in a lot of other vaginas. The pH level will get thrown off. And if he's just come back from a fucking orgy and then tries to have sex with you, like, oh my God, like now you've just ruined my vagina,
Yeah. And then I have, there's a reason why, there's that like someone's being cranky and you're like, oh, you got sand in your vagina? Yeah.
Yeah. I do.
If my vagina's irritated, I'm going to be mad. Yes. And what's going to make me mad is you throwing off my pH and me having a cranky, like itchy, dry, whatever's going, chafed feeling vagina. I'm not going to be a good partner. I'm not going to be a good neighbor.
I'm just not gonna be a good person. Yeah.
No, it's all bad.
Yeah. Okay, so you would definitely prefer to date outside of the industry. I think I'm in that same boat.
Yeah. And I do. Yeah. Someone outside the industry. I also, I like people that are also driven. Because I am a total workaholic. Yeah. I will admit that. I always have been. It's just, I've always had a job. As soon as I could get a job legally, I've had a job. I've always had a job. Yeah. And then I've always had a side hustle. And it's like, if I have free time, that's like, oh, cool, I'm going to do another project. It's not like, I'm going to take up a hobby.
Same. Yeah. How can I make more money?
And then it turned into a podcast.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. No. Okay. So how important is sex in your relationship? Is it number 1, number 3, number 10?
Not number 10, because
Okay.
I do need physical intimacy. I need a lot of touch. I need a lot of snuggling. So I need a lot of physical intimacy, and sex is part of that. But I'm not, like a super crazy nympho. I'm not like, I want to come home and just told. Yeah.
Which I think people think that's what we are. So yeah.
No, that's women in their early 20s. And maybe that was me in my early 20s. There was a lot more sex happening, but like, no, I want to be held, and I'm a snuggle slut.
Yeah.
But
you
sex
want to feel
is
loved, supported.
I want to feel loved. I want to feel loved. I am a romantic. Like I said, I'm completely not monogamous outside my work. I read a lot of romance novels.
Do you really? Okay. So you are like the romance girly.
I read a lot of romance. Yeah, like historical romance is probably my most read genre, for sure.
I love that your books are color coded, by the way. That makes me very happy.
I had them not color coded, and it was because this always ends up being my background. It was driving me crazy because it was just too chaotic, and it's already a lot of visual clutter, and then you add in. So like we're just gonna.
I love it. It's very aesthetically pleasing. Yeah. Okay. Would you ever dump a man for having a small dick or being bad in bed?
I can make anyone an amazing lover.
Oh, okay. That's a skill.
If I'm into you, and and I date women, so penis size doesn't particularly
matter.
I don't care. Like, does it get hard for me?
Yeah.
Does your penis like me is what I care about. Like, if your penis doesn't get hard for me, I'm not going to be interested in your penis.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's fair. So
that is fair.
But if someone is into me and I'm into them, we can find a way to have a really amazing time together.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can come from, kisses on the back of my neck. I can come from having my feet cropped. Like once I get into that space where I'm like really hyper focused in my partner, like I've studied like Tantra. I've studied, human sexuality. We can make it work.
Yeah.
If we like each other, and like we can have a good time. So, and I'm so supportive, and I love getting people off.
Yeah.
And so I like complex problem solving. So
you have a small dick, we'll work around it. Yeah.
And so if someone does, and I love trying new fetishes. I have a ton of fetishes of my own. I'm very open in that way. And so I will sometimes get off on just making someone else's fetish come true.
Yeah.
And
I also feel that way. I like making fantasies come true. I think that's hot.
We're pleasers.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd say that. Do you think you want the whole like marriage, kids, white picket fence? Do you want all that, or you? No?
I do not want kids.
Yeah.
Same. I don't want a white picket fence, but that's just an aesthetic choice.
Yeah.
My passion is actually, my favorite thing to do is to putter and decorate and like take care of the house. Like that gives me so much joy. I love to decorate. I love house projects. Like, and I definitely want to be married. I mean, when I got married before, it was more of a, doing a favor for a friend who I was close with at the time, who needed some help, and it did not work out.
Yeah, but you also loved that person. It's not like
I did.
you,
yeah, no,
yeah.
I loved them. Absolutely love them. But it wasn't like we're madly in love and this is a grand romance and you're my person forever. Right. And I want to be picked first. I want someone to fight for me. And I think that's what it is. I want someone that like, I want someone that's willing to fight for me, because I have been such a good partnered other people and I've been so accommodating. And like I said, I've been in a relationship for the past several years where I have not been the primary. And that is, and while I've been with someone who's been like really loving and amazing and really supportive, I've always known that like they have their forever person and this is never going to change. And so
I think, I think our profession makes that really hard for a lot of people to have that. This is my person and I'm so proud to be with them. You know, like I'm the same way with you, girl. I'm like, if you are not shouting from the fucking rooftops that I am yours, then I don't want it. Like I want you to be the proudest. I want to be your little baby Simba. You're just like, this is mine, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I want that. And if I don't have it, I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. I agree.
And it's anything else is just stigmatizing us for the work that we do. And there are a lot of reasons that, you know, we both ended up in sex work for different reasons.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of reasons. Some of them are just late stage capitalism. Like, and why I ended up doing what I do.
That's why I stayed. That's for sure.
Yeah. And it's not fair to be like, oh, well, you did this thing that in some parts of the world we're putting a stigma on. And therefore you're not worthy of love is bullshit.
It is.
Yeah. It's just bullshit.
So what would you say is going to be the best part about dating a porn star?
I honestly think we know how to love and to be present, and we know how to communicate, and we know how to listen to other people's boundaries, and we're good about expressing what our boundaries are. And I think people are always very shocked about, you know, and even in friendships with me, you know, like there'll be some times I'll be like, hey, I can't have this conversation with you right now. I support your journey, but like, and a lot of other people, whatever the situation is, you know, there might be a difficult conversation going on. I'm like, I can't engage in this right now for X, Y, and Z reason. And, or I can, or I have been here in this situation, I can engage. And being able to, instead of being like, oh, this is uncomfortable and I'm going to disengage from, you know, the messy parts of being human, the messy parts of being in a relationship. And, you know, there's always going to be friction. People are always going to experience conflict. And a lot of people, I think, just kind of like white knuckle it and are like, I'm listening. Whereas, you know, we as individuals are either like, I can't understand and I can't empathize, or I can't understand and I can't empathize and I'm sorry. And like, we don't allow people to project on us too much.
Yeah,
like,
I 100% agree with that, and the empathy portion of it for sure. I feel like being in porn has made me so much more empathetic to people just in general, because the world now looks down on you so much that you're like, okay, like now I can understand like what it feels like for people to feel like they're at the bottom of the bottom, you know? So.
And we've met so many different people from so many different, we've met just the volume of people that we've met and dealing with, you know, and having a fan base. And, you know, I know that I'm close with a lot of my fans.
Same.
And, you know, meeting people in the industry, meeting people out in the real world, you know, being a public person, we've met so many people and seen so much of humanity, is that it really gives, in most cases, it makes you empathetic. I mean, and it's, we've learned how to get along with people that are very different from us and have very different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And communicate.
Oh, communication is key. Especially sexually, because I feel like so many people are so afraid to communicate sexually openly. And I feel like that is a strong suit that we have, you know, like we're like, hey, tell me exactly the kind of pressure you want on your cock. How hard can I squeeze your balls? Like I want like details. I want to be able to get you off to the best of my ability, you know?
Yeah.
So, and we know what we like.
A or B.
Yeah.
I will A/B test your genitals until we can optimize them for maximum fun. Like that's but that's also with my friendships too. You know, it's like, what's your communication style? You know, I've recently started to be very open about the fact that like I get really, really overwhelmed, and like I, particularly post-COVID, you know, I always got overwhelmed, and you know, like loud, like if there's a lot of loud noises and like a lot of like sensory input, I used to not communicate that was going on. I used to just shut down or lash out. And now I'm like, this is what's happening. Let me over explain why is this happening. This is not you. I'm not being weird towards you. I love you dearly, but I'm going to step away, or I really need this, or I love that. Constantly checking in with the people around you, because that's another thing that we do professionally. It's always like, are you okay right now? Are you comfortable? Is there anything that we can do to make this better? And sometimes you need that at like a day at Six Flags or like out at dinner.
Yeah. 110. Yeah. All right. The final question. What's the worst part of dating a porn star? Are there any downfalls?
Yes.
Are there?
Yes. I think that it's gonna... it is going to challenge someone. Dating a porn star seriously is going to force them to confront a lot of internalized misogyny, a lot of internalized social constructs. You're going to be forced to reckon with a lot of things that you may have never really thought about before. Yeah. And sometimes people don't want to see that truth. Sometimes people don't want to be asked those hard questions. And because you're going to be asked hard questions by the porn star you're dating, the people who care about you and are like, what are you doing dating a porn star? You know, you're going to deal with people making assumptions about your partner, both right and wrong. It takes a lot of empathy and a lot of introspection and a lot of like confronting some big thoughts.
Yeah.
But if you're smart and you like to think and you want to grow, you're going to find there's so many amazing people in this industry.
There really are. Yeah. I say that all the time, and people are like, what's your favorite part about working in the industry? I was like, some of the incredible humans I've met, and just like the different way of thinking with people in the porn industry as opposed to the outside world is just so much more accepting and loving and understanding. And there's such a bad label that goes on our industry when I think that we deserve some really great fucking labels, you know? So including good girlfriend. So
I am the best friend. Yeah. I am such a good girlfriend. I am like ride or die. It's let me go to work and understand that like as long as you don't mess with the job that I find incredibly interesting and empowering and engaging, and also gives me a lot of flexibility so I can be a great partner for you. So I can move my schedule around. Yeah. You know, I can be very accommodating in ways that not a lot of partners can be. I think that whoever I end up with next is going to be incredibly lucky.
I agree. All right. We made it through this episode. So I think you do want to date a porn star, basically.
Yes.
And if you want to find Ryan in particular, tell them where they can find you, Ryan.
The most important thing that you can do is come and check out my new podcast.
Yes.
If you really want to get to know, if you want to see Ryan Keely, the porn star, RyanKeely.com, go to my OnlyFans. I'm all over social media. Google me, I dare you. My OnlyFans is a great place to go, RyanKeely.com. But if you want to get to know me, Ryan, like the person, I Seduce the Dragon is the name of the podcast, istdpod.com. We're soft launched on Patreon, so you can join and get it right now. Starting in March, we'll be doing bi-weekly episodes. It's me and 4 of my girlfriends.
Love it.
And we play D&D, but it's not for D&D nerds. It's about friendship. We cut out all of like the boring like game mechanics. It's 5 grown women loving on each other and making dick jokes.
Love it. Can't wait. I can't wait. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. But until next time, adios.
Adios.